Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, May 6th, at 3:26 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 734 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. TUI to subsidize COVID tests for package holiday customers. NC issues alert for tool containing radioactive material that was stolen in Durham. Dad accused of fatally hitting son who ate his cheesecake pleads guilty in Wisconsin. We've had enough. Kansas City saw multiple shootings and homicides in 10-hour span. The guy who crowdfunded $25 million to build Trump's border wall just got indicted on tax fraud charges. Maryland woman accused of setting house on fire, watching it burn from lawn chair. The FEC wants Congress to ban a fundraising tactic used by the Trump campaign. It's almost like theft. Fox News anchor wonders who's right on the big lie, Cheney or Trump? Plane without pilot flies over a mile after unexpected takeoff, Nebraska officials say. Hal Rogers wants federal study of flood control measures for Beattyville. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Novavax vaccine trial indicates 100% protection against severe COVID-19 due to South African variant, see Tech Daily. Trump asserts power over Republicans as Liz Cheney faces ousting, The Guardian. Scottish election 2021, when will we know the results, BBC News. Video, Jake Paul steals Floyd Mayweather's hat, bedlam breaks out at presser for Logan Paul exhibition, MMA fighting. Fed warns of hidden leverage lurking in financial system, Financial Times. Harry and Meghan share new photo of Archie for his second birthday, today. Account tweeting Trump statement suspended by Twitter. The Hill. Apple offered special App Store API access to Hulu and other developers, Mac rumors. Angels release future Hall of Famer, former Fort Osage star Albert Pujols in final season of contract, KMBC Kansas City. In Louisiana, Biden makes infrastructure pitch local, NBC News. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Kate Winslet describes being awestruck by mythical Wawa. Florida governor happy he gave Fox exclusive access to voter suppression bill signing. How to pick an airplane seat now. 7 embarrassing sex questions experts get asked all the time. Ariana Grande immortalized in wax by Madame Tussauds Hollywood. 2 students, custodian injured in shooting at Idaho middle school. Why Democrats could actually pass prescription drug legislation this year. 2 Asian women stabbed in San Francisco amid rise in anti-Asian violence. George Clooney reveals Brad Pitt bedroom shrine in cheeky charity ad. Broadband companies faked anti-net neutrality FCC comments per report. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Man enters insanity plea for road rage incident. Arrest made in fatal shooting of 1-year-old. Man accused of abusing mother, facing charges. On video, woman intentionally rams car into vehicle. Workers to move by the way prisons to cover shortages. Police called over kids playing with Nerf guns. Mother's Day flower shortage blamed on pandemic. Motorist hits 10-foot alligator on dark TX highway. Gardener estimates he had 60k tulips, and then the deer arrived. Police looking for info on woman's skull found. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Police operation in Rio de Janeiro leaves at least 25 dead. Long March 5B, a Chinese rocket, expected to tumble back to Earth. Will the Supreme Court write Guantanamo's final chapter? Teens are in crisis, so are their parents. William T. Wiley, funk artist who spurned convention, dies at 83. 3 months after coup, Myanmar returns to the bad old days. Pentagon struggles to wean Afghan military off American air support. Florida enacts voting restrictions and Texas moves to follow. Voting restrictions, nursing homes, Iran, your Thursday evening briefing. Nuclear talks with Iran could reach agreement within weeks, U.S. says. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Vermont unwanted rescue dog becomes police department's first canine in decades. First grade parents shocked after transgender book, report. AOC says Planned Parenthood promotes births, saves lives. New Jersey University offering students up to $1,000 COVID vaccine incentive. Ellen DeGeneres moves into Courtney Cox's home, I'm not having marital troubles. Texas linebacker Jake Ellinger, younger brother of former Longhorn star QB, found dead off campus, report. Grand Canyon 153-person hike organizer from Washington State facing federal charges. Tomi Lahren on the appearance that drew backlash, protests from anti-free speech liberals in Back the Blue. CNN gives Psaki a pass after admitting WH urges Biden not to take questions from reporters. Austin says military has no plan to shoot the tumbling Chinese rocket, hints at capabilities to do so. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, May 6th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Students, parents protest racial profiling of black 5th grader at San Francisco Safeway. Stimulus check update, is a 4th relief payment in your future? Wells Fargo Championship preview, Quail Hollow tests you from the first hole, says CBS Sports' Frank Nubilo. Interview, Dan Reynolds and Christine Reynolds on Paramount Plus as From Cradle to Stage. Child tax credit, parents will soon get a monthly check, but for how much? Moderna says its COVID vaccine is 96% effective in protecting 12 to 17-year-old kids. Payment Protection Program runs out of money ahead of May 31st application deadline. What if your allergy medicine isn't kicking in? How can you find faster relief? Low-carb, high-flavor summer recipes for the whole family from Keto Barbecue. Actress Rebel Wilson talks about struggles with infertility. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Richard Littlejohn, here's to Fleet Street's finest, and that includes you. Brazil, at least 25 killed during gun battle between police and Rio de Janeiro drug gang. Matthew Perry outed on riot for sending a girl cringeworthy messages. Super Thursday polls close as UK braces for results. Sarah Ferguson makes her first foray into adult fiction with romance novel for Mills and Boon. Nepal COVID cases soar amid fears country could become the new India. New history of homicide shows killings not always an open and shut case. YouTuber Nikki Phillippi accused of murdering her dog after putting him down. Jersey fisherman Roe revealed Britain's reliance on Europe for power. Pfizer hits out at Biden administration over vaccine patent waivers. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Coronavirus hive, COVID-19 unlikely to be ever eradicated, warns Prof. Chris Whitty. Arsenal's Aubameyang hits post twice as Villarreal reach Europa League final. 18th on Cavani sends Manchester United into final despite Roma surge. Childish Gambino sued for alleged This Is America copyright infringement. Giant sturgeon caught in Detroit River may be 100 years old. Italian fisher wounded after Libyan Coast Guard reportedly shot at boat. Manchester City v Chelsea, Bravura final battle is held up by healthy bottom line Barney Ronay. US Germany rift as Berlin opposes plan to ditch COVID vaccine patents. Florida governor signs new restrictive bill in blatant attack on right to vote. EU accuses UK as France seeks to rapidly defuse Jersey fishing row. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Shooting at Idaho Middle School injure 3, student captured. Army trainee hijacks elementary school bus full of kids. Explainer, why patents on COVID vaccines are so contentious. Grand jury indicts Puerto Rico boxer in lover's death. NJ doctor who was giant in field of infectious diseases dies of COVID-19 in India. Police find 3-year-old wandering alone saying he left mommy's house. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Mohamed Nasheed, Maldives ex-president injured in blast. Grand Canyon lottery to kill bison gathers 45,000 entries. COVID, Germany rejects US-backed proposal to waive vaccine patents. Qatar finance minister arrested in corruption investigation. Brazil, at least 25 killed in Rio de Janeiro shootout. Franklin expedition, DNA test identifies member of 1845 Arctic voyage. Antony Blinken, US tells Russia to cease reckless and aggressive actions. Tanzanian Samia Suluhu Hassan's 5 quotes which charmed Kenya. Colombia protests, tightrope walkers and orchestra in demonstrations. Why wearing the wrong socks is risky in Belarus. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Pfizer, BioNTech will vaccinate Summer Olympians. Moderna says its vaccine is 96% effective in adolescents. Today's COVID-19 updates. This little bird-like dinosaur hunted at night, study suggests. Florida governor signs elections law rewrite. India's COVID surge claimed a genuine giant in the field of infectious diseases. Biden pushes infrastructure plan in GOP stronghold. CEO, Moderna committed to tackling virus variants. Schumer, patrons cheer on Junior's reopening. David Oyelowo fulfills directing passion in Waterman. Austin, U.S. troop withdrawal going as planned. Teacher of the Year focuses on individual student needs. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Sanitation workers collect 35 tons of trash while preparing to reopen Echo Park Lake. Orange County and other California sites to close mass COVID-19 vaccination centers. Justice in Italy has worked, many in Rome applaud Californians' life sentences in police killing. California bar owner charged with selling fake COVID-19 vaccination cards. U.S. Appeals Court upholds California program for workers without retirement benefits. California State Fair postponed to allow for more COVID-19 vaccinations at Cal Expo site. L.A. County Sheriff refuses to name deputies who opened fire, defying state high court. Monterey Bay Aquarium animals ready for their close-up with reopening set for May 15th. L.A. County is now in the yellow tier. Here's what the major reopening means to you. Woman goes on racist rant during L.A. County traffic stop, tells deputy you'll never be white. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, May 6th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. British woman strangled, shot dead in Pakistan for turning down marriage proposal from two men. China's carbon pollution now surpasses all developed countries combined. In shock move, US backs waiving patents on COVID vaccines. Massacre of protesters and economic crisis push Colombia workers to strike. Bolsonaro faces criminal investigation, possible impeachment over COVID response in Brazil. Putin looks to make equating Stalin, USSR to Hitler, Nazi Germany illegal. Brazil, at least 23 killed in Rio de Janeiro shootout, BBC News. Industry could cheaply and easily slash humanity's methane emissions by at least 30% in a decade, the United Nations said Thursday, adding that such cuts would slow global warming and prevent hundreds of thousands of deaths. Denmark tells Syrian refugees it's time to go home. Turks feel belittled after Turkish FM says Ankara will vaccinate anyone that tourists can see. China's greenhouse gas emissions exceed those of US and developed countries combined, report says. Polish grannies demonstrate for democracy. Hong Kong's Joshua Wong handed extra jail time for Tiananmen vigil. EU top court upholds ban on Bayer pesticides linked to harming bees. Alcohol deaths highest for 20 years in England and Wales. The next headlines are from Forbes. BTS tie their own historic record with their latest album certification in Korea. How one shoe company is giving new support to women's careers. Nielsen's, Melissa McCarthy's Thunder Force tops movies while Marvel's Falcon and the Winter Soldier tops TV. Warner Brothers, attempts to bolster diversity with Black-led Superman written by Ta-Nehisi Coates. Worldwide COVID death count is more than twice official tallies, study finds. Some House Republicans criticize Stefanik's conservative creds as she shores up support. Joe Jonas brings this one thing whenever he travels. Ewa Blood and Guts ratings. Ewa wins the night with over 1 million viewers for polarizing match. Dark Side of the Ring returns with a supersized Season 3. New Orleans Pelicans signal roster building strategy, sign Najee Marshall to guaranteed deal. The next headlines are from Nature.com. 6 lessons from a pandemic PhD student. Minuscule drums push the limits of quantum weirdness. How many COVID deaths are acceptable in a post-pandemic world? Swiss funder draws lots to make grand decisions. Pfizer COVID vaccine protects against worrying coronavirus variants. Antarctic rocks on the rebound could raise sea level much more than expected. How does a cylinder levitate? Scientists explain the maths behind the magic. Projected land ice contributions to 21st century sea level rise. A high-quality bonobo genome refines the analysis of hominid evolution. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,703,389,424 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Wrath of Man review, Guy Ritchie and Jason Statham reunite for impressive crime thriller. Robert Downey Jr. and Avengers cast mourn death of assistant Jimmy Rich, a terrible and shocking tragedy. Monster review, an involving portrait of a young black man accused of murder. TV ratings, Thunder Force opens with thunderous viewership on weekly streaming lists. Julia Louis-Dreyfus on Veep, Seinfeld and Why Republicans Have Lost Their Minds. 2021 Emmys predictions, all awards categories. Live Nation weathers rough quarter as concert business slowly rumbles back to life. Here today co-stars Billy Crystal and Tiffany Haddish reminisce on her bat mitzvah. Women directors make their mark on Italy's 66th David Awards despite drawbacks. AMC Theaters loses $567 million, quarterly earnings miss projections. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. A remote work revolution is underway, but not for everyone. Goodwill doesn't want your broken toaster. New era in resettlement, U.S. refugee advocates count on more community-based help. How systemic racism continues to determine black health and wealth in Chicago. Scotland goes to polls in crucial election that could trigger new independence vote. New study estimates more than 900,000 people have died of COVID-19 in U.S. Justice Department, Arizona Senate audit, recount may violate federal law. Biden opens restaurant fund with visit to the South Korea that's been on the brink. Non-uplets, woman from Mali gives birth to 9 babies. Pfizer to vaccinate Olympic athletes as Japan mulls extending pandemic restrictions. The following headlines are from the week. Elon Musk's SpaceX launches keep getting mistaken for alien invasions. New York Times slammed over covering a fake Billie Eilish controversy. The Daily Gossip, Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell are back together, Michael B. Jordan's Star Wars audition was his worst to date, and more. The week's good news, May 6, 2021. Courtney Cox hated dancing in that fountain from Friends. Twitter suspends Trump blog account for trying to evade his ban. Vaccine incentives don't need to convince everyone. Michael B. Jordan bombed his audition for Star Wars. Ron DeSantis signs Florida's restrictive new voting law exclusively on Fox News. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Texas enabled the worst carbon monoxide poisoning catastrophe in recent U.S. history. On Juneteenth refuses easy answers about the importance of people of color to Texas history. In Gainesville, the past is repeating itself. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. New report finds power sector is halfway to zero emissions. The next headlines are from Universe Today. SpaceX's N-15 Starship prototype nails it. Dark matter could change the temperature of exoplanets, allowing us to detect it. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, May 6th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Star hop to the hunting dogs. Uncontrollable China rocket hurtles towards re-entry. Chinese rovers yearn to attempt to land on Mars this month. NASA expects upcoming space telescope to find 100,000 new worlds. SpaceX Starship prototype soars 6 miles up, then lands upright. Photos from 2021's Eta Aquarii meteor shower. Map of Milky Way halo reveals dark matter ocean. Florida bill says companies like SpaceX retain ownership of fallen hardware. The length of a day on Venus is always changing. The next news is from Politico. G7 takes aim at China over Taiwan Strait. Blinken, U.S. will respond if Russia acts recklessly. MAGA World pans Stefanik. Millions head back to work amid employer confusion over masks, vaccines. Twitter boots account mimicking Trump's new blog. New Jerseyans still giving Murphy high marks for his handling of the pandemic, poll finds. Stefanik bashes Twitter after AIDS account suspended in error. DeSantis gives Fox exclusive of him signing election bill. Pfizer, BioNTech agree to send doses to vaccinate Olympic delegations. He was packing up his hangar. Jenner says wealthy Californians are moving to avoid the homeless. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Biden's risky spending poses a danger for the world. The Batmobile back at Waverly where it belongs. It was pretty scary, Dalton on the mend with more game's glory in sight. Faith in contact tracers at an all-time high, but lockdown still in WA's COVID-19 arsenal. Lager goes from pipe dream to the real deal for WA brewer. McGowan urges Morrison to mend China relationship as diplomatic row hits new low. Oh no, Crocs are back, but who's actually wearing them? Twitter closes accounts attempting to evade Trump ban. News Corp revenue jumps, Foxtel strategic pivot provides flexibility and optionality. Man United book showdown with Villarreal in Europa League final. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Earnings results, AMC CEO details early returns from theater reopenings, and the stock is gaining. The Moneyist, my son, 18, says I should hand over the $1,400 adult-dependent stimulus. He claims it belongs to him. Who's right? The Moneyist, my wife inherited $800K. She put $300K toward her mortgage and $500K in her own bank account, after 35 years of marriage. Earnings results, Peloton stock bounces back after revised forecast calls for $4 billion in annual sales. Earnings results, Square crushes earnings expectations amid continued growth of Cash App. The Moneyist, my ex-husband move in, he pays $150 for cable, his only expense, and gives me the silent treatment if I ask him to pay for dinner. The Wall Street Journal, The Athletic ends merger talks with Axios and views New York Times as prospective partner. Market Extra, high-yield spreads dive to near 2018 post-recession lows, but there's a twist. Personal Finance Daily, Melinda Gates is a billionaire after a nearly $2.4 billion stock transfer, and mortgage rates drop to lowest levels since mid-February. The Margin, want to bet on a trip to space? You probably need a $10,000 deposit, at least. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. COVID, the vaccine patent row explained, BBC News. Patenting trends in microbes in food, Lawyer Monthly magazine. Employment agreement assignments don't reach post-employment inventions, the National Law Review. Australian patent applications tumble with both locals and foreign filers cutting back, IAM. Activision Blizzard wins patent lawsuit after 9 years, gamesindustry.peace. Full court finds in prescribed circumstances only allows narrow construction, Lexology. Understanding the history of patent harmonization, Part 1, Lexology. Software patents in Europe remain a delicate issue, intellectual property, European Union, Mondac News alerts. Chinese duo nominated for fingerprint solution, ChinaDaily.com CN, China Daily USA. Public health must be the highest law, The Wire Science. The next headlines are from Quartz. How Indian doctors abroad are helping their country fight COVID. The U.S. support for vaccine patent waiver still leaves plenty to be resolved. The surprising business advantage of training your sense of smell. Does the U.S. even need a federal minimum wage anymore? The pandemic forced these 3 restaurants to pivot, now they're thriving with meal kits. Facebook's oversight board blew up in its face. Africa's fashion industry has its first dedicated investment company. American drivers are saving the corn ethanol industry for now. Vaccine patent waivers, UK elections, fanged frogs. The pandemic has made online grocery shopping a lasting habit for Indians. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Fortnite, a free game, made $9 billion in 2 years. Why is a congressional staffer teaming up with a Hollywood lobbyist to celebrate expansion of criminal copyright laws? NYAG proves broadband industry funded phony public support for attack on net neutrality. Daily Deal, the complete ethical hacking course. Former FCC boss Ajit Pai gets handsomely rewarded for years of broadband policy falsehoods. Putin's crackdown on demonstrators adds a sadistic twist, using surveillance cameras to identify people, but to arrest them only days or months later. Huge news, US Gov agrees to support intellectual property waiver to help fight COVID. Content moderation case studies, how to moderate world leaders justifying violence, 2020. Cable's broadband monopoly continues to protect it from TV cord cutting. What if the media and politicians try to hold a techlash, and no one joined them? We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Arsenal vs Villarreal. Roma vs Man United. Albert Pujols. Willie Mays. Stranger Things Season 4. Loki. Resident Evil Village. Anthony Edwards. Serena Williams. National Nurses Day 2021. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Moving in the wrong direction, White House slams new Florida voting law is built on a lie. Police and FBI respond to hostage situation at Wells Fargo Bank in Minnesota. Watch out, New York, Russian space agency posts map of where Chinese rocket booster might crash. Merkel opposes Biden's call to waive COVID-19 vaccine patent protections, as Spain says proposal not enough. Germany opens up AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccination for all adults and shortens dose interval, health minister announces. Lithuanian president plans to warn EU leaders about Belarusian nuclear plant by handing out copies of HBO's Chernobyl, reports. Back to twerk, UFC bombshell Mackenzie Dern busts out her moves, throws punches on boat with Brazilian pop princess Lexa, video. France, Germany, Italy, Spain and UK urge Israel to halt West Bank settlement expansion plans that threaten prospects for peace. UFC legend Nick Diaz announces shock partnership with adult site Stripchat and plan to offer self-defense classes to cam girls. As Canada's vaccine rollout sputters, Ontario and Manitoba premiers ask neighboring U.S. states to inoculate essential workers. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Japan extends state of emergency as petition to cancel Olympics sees growing support. Gundlach warns America's unfunded liabilities are $163 trillion, more than 5x national debt. Sell in May but rush back for July. So it looks like nationalizing student loans has simply turned into one giant Ponzi scheme. $250 billion funds CIO fears hidden costs of Biden's Faustian policy's darker sides. Fed warns asset prices are vulnerable to large declines if risk appetite falls. Stocks saved by late day buying panic as dollar dumps, crypto slumps. Hamas says Israel deserved Meron stampede tragedy which killed 45. Melinda Gates rented private island to hide from press during divorce announcement. ARC check is looming. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. New York blasts broadband firms for fake net neutrality comments. Coinbase hits record low as investors flock to Dogecoin, Binance. At least 25 killed in Rio de Janeiro's deadliest police raid. A challenge for Afghan military as U.S. leaves Afghanistan. Germany to offer Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to all adults. Will military action stop violence in eastern Dr. Congo? Egypt and Turkey hold frank official talks, first since 2013. Nuclear deal possible if Iran makes political decision, U.S. U.S., NATO door remains open to nations that meet conditions. Judge temporarily stays ruling in eviction moratorium case. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Fight breaks out at Miami airport after mask dispute. Nolte, Washington Post gins up anti-cop hate by labeling replica gun a toy. Exclusive, William Perry Pendley, it's time for Liz Cheney to come home. Joe Biden wears mask outside again in Louisiana despite updated CDC guidelines. Study, Joe Biden given least negative news coverage of any president in last 30 years. Chinese take to high seas to reach Taiwan on inflatable rafts. Exclusive, Rep. Mo Brooks, tech censorship allows evil to thrive. Jen Psaki already talking about stepping down as press secretary next year. Punk rocker John Joseph, cancel culture can go FK themselves. Photos, historic Mexican church uncovered from water after 40 years. The next headlines are from UPI News. Michigan woman wins $150,000 Powerball prize with years-old numbers. Watch, identical twins earn $24 million worth of scholarships. Menu from 1913 found in rafters of British cafe. Watch, Philippines man collects 20,000 fast food toys. Watch, New York police wrangle loose horse wandering Staten Island. Look, Rabar impales truck in Florida, driver uninjured. Look, fox rescued from storm tank at sewage treatment plant. Illinois 12-year-old builds world's tallest popsicle stick structure. Missouri man wins $50,000 lottery prize, thanks to clerk's mix-up. Watch, treasure hunter finds tourists' lost iPhone on Florida beach. The next headlines are from odd, strange and bizarre things. Baking hacks to get you using your oven. What to know about applying for VA disability benefits. 5 ways to add some modern touches to your home. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. 79-year-old diver and this fish have been BFFs for nearly 30 years, he nursed her back to health. Toddler without hands gets a puppy without paw, it's fate and a beautiful thing. World-renowned psychiatrist is writing COVID prescriptions for daily poetry reading. How one developer is turning farm storage into soaring yet affordable apartments. Brave boy who was told he'd never speak is now honored in Disney storybook of Pocahontas. Farms in UK save this beautiful Duke of Burgundy butterfly from extinction. 5-year-old is a neighborhood hero for drawing colorful messages of hope on her house during lockdown, look. Floating dandelion seeds produce vortex not noticed before by scientists. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, May 6th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. The grim reason why Finland is the happiest place on earth. Austin lawyer known as Dwee Dude gets 15 years in prison for scamming Colombian narcos. Ohio State senator is caught zooming and driving. Fresh pizza vending machine prompts curiosity and horror in Rome. People are eating rotten, raw meat to get high and dangerous online trend. Pesky condors invade California backyard, 15 to 20 of the endangered giant birds wrecked the deck, knocked over lawn ornaments and tore up every piece of plastic they could find, the homeowner's daughter said near Tehachapi, 40 southeast of Bakersfield. Boy accidentally orders $2,600 worth of SpongeBob ice cream online. Bride leaves groom at altar for failure to recite multiplication tables. This Japanese town was given over $7 million for COVID-19 relief. They used $230,000 to build a giant squid statue. Georgia boy, 11, jumps from school bus onto passing truck, report. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. PSA, those your porn name gains are scams trying to get your personal info. Google will soon automatically enroll users in TUFA. Researchers say this combo of old-school invisible ink and AI is uncrackable. Here's how autonomous cars could help remote and unpopulated areas. Rivian R1T's been spotted with a LiDAR rig. Is this Driver Plus related? Scout Pro, one of the smallest and most powerful chargers, and half off right now. Samus Roam Review, smart speaker, even smarter business. Learn design basics and powerful creation apps like Adobe CC with these courses. Treat your business like a living, breathing organism. Ola Electric plans to go international this year, but only after India launch. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Healthy young adults who had COVID-19 may have long-term impact on blood vessels and heart health. Physicists describe new type of aurora. Physicists find a novel way to switch antiferromagnetism on and off. Shining new light on step-parent fairy tale stereotype. COVID-19 vaccine is associated with fewer asymptomatic SARS-CoV-2 infections, study finds. New study tracked large sharks during hurricanes. Pioneering study explores passengers' experiences of self-driving cars in winter conditions. Secret behind maintaining a healthy weight loss. 1/3 of patients hospitalized with COVID-19 have lung changes after a year. Just a few atoms thick, new functional materials developed. The next headlines are from Information Week. Transformation, disruption, and gender diversity in tech. How to enable data at operational speed. Key courses for CEOs in 2021. How to recruit AI talent and keep them happy. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, May 6th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA invites public, media to watch asteroid mission begin return to Earth. NASA awards Earth Science Data and Information System contract. NASA names new Chief of Staff. Media invited to virtual briefing as NASA's web prepares for launch. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Washington County declared a sanctuary for constitutional rights and freedoms. Utah man charged in Capitol insurrection to be evaluated for mental competency after outburst in court hearing. Believe indigenous victims of violence and get rid of mascots that dehumanize Native people, activists say. Utah is just short of 1 million people fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Bagley cartoon, Greater State Seal. RSL is off to a 2-0 start. Should fans get excited, or is it still too early? Eye on the Y, in First Jet's press conference, Zach Wilson reveals what irked him about the pre-draft process. Michelle Quist, convention delegates gave Utah GOP a black eye. Former police officer who refused a Pride Parade assignment tapes a giant vaccine syringe burning in effigy in Utah. Jill Biden visits Utah. GOP delegates boo Mitt Romney. LDS Church answers lawsuit on Behind the Headlines. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Opposing PRO Act, Uber and other gig companies spend over $1 million lobbying. Apple offered special App Store API access to Hulu and other developers. Google Play's app listings will require privacy info next year, just like the App Store. Biden backs waiving international patent protections for COVID-19 vaccines. Broadband companies paid for 8.5 million fake net neutrality comments, New York AG reports. Netflix is exploring developing N+. Amazon drivers are instructed to drive recklessly to meet delivery quotas. Google will automatically enroll users into factor authentication soon. Study, using Apple's night shift to improve your sleep, don't bother. Global heating pace risks unstoppable sea level rise as Antarctic ice sheet melts. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Proposed bill to rename part of I-64 after blues legend Bobby Pledger. Opening weekend for freshly picked strawberries in Belleville. Gateway Arch National Park announces virtual, in-person summer activities. Missouri Zombie Road is a suburban bike path. Deaths outpaced births in Missouri, COVID-19 played a role. Longtime Missouri GOP consultant, lobbyist faces federal tax charge. Black religious leaders decry Missouri bills as biased. Missouri National Guard scaling back its COVID vaccine support. 385 new COVID cases, 3 deaths reported in Missouri. Possible tornado near Cape Girardeau. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Supervisors approve better public notification on sex offenders. Twitter introduces tip jar that allows you to pay users for tweets. Twitter suspends from the desk of Donald J. Trump account. Most aggressive dog breeds, is your pooch on the list? County updates residents on pandemic, vaccination effort. First co-ed company at local Marine Corps training depot graduates. Dead man found on beach identified as bearded bandit bank robber. Flock of rare California condors trash woman's home. 2021 Miramar Air Show cancelled amid pandemic concerns. $7 in marijuana seized from illegal grow operation, deputies say. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. Stalking someone with an AirTag is frighteningly easy, report says. It's easier than it should be to stalk someone with an AirTag. Foreign intelligence surveillance court rubber stamps mass. Peeping Tom installed camera in his neighbor's bathroom on Spain's Costa Blanca, Olive Press News Spain. Will Matthew Rhys become the second person to win an Emmy for playing Perry Mason? Judge Andrew P. Napolitano, now the post office is spying on Americans, will our government ever behave? Man's second date goes viral after roommate asks Diamondbacks to spy on parrot game. Creeps could use AirTags to stalk people with frightening ease. iPhone hack used by China to spy on Uyghur Muslims 9to5 Mac. Try using a Bluetooth scanner app to find unwanted AirTags. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. U.S. Air Force confirms Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile test failure. U.S. Air Force is one step closer to receive autonomous unmanned combat aircraft. Lockheed Martin receives $51 in support of the French Air Force C-130 aircraft. U.S. Air Force sent more B-52H bombers to support withdraw troops from Afghanistan. Lockheed Martin makes a major breakthrough in future communications for joint warfighting. F-16's pilots receives unprecedented level of situational awareness. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. How technology and capital can help accelerate agricultural innovation in China. China tests digital yuan in villages. Tencent execs Youth Day message for China's youth, you are sleeping too much. Chinese podcast apps Amalia to go public. Puppies and kittens are the latest casualties of China's blind box craze. The Resider, a Uyghur family's pride and downfall. Can Chinese liquor companies convince Chinese youth to drink traditional baijiu? U.S.-China relations at the time of the Chinese Exclusion Act. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, May 6, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Why the FAA is proposing to fine an unruly passenger $32,750. Companies celebrate National Nurses Day with freebies, discounts. Family offers vintage Corvette, $10,000 as reward for answers in cold case murder. Mother shot in the face while trying to save 9-year-old son during deadly shooting released from hospital. CDC research projects COVID toll on U.S. will dip sharply by end of July. Smithsonian will display Star Wars X-Wing in 2022. How to get a $50 discount on your broadband bill. Army trainee in custody after hijacking school bus full of kids. New wristbands serve as wearable vaccine card. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Man United finally reaches major final under Solskjaer. Pritzker now says budget can include added $350 million for schools. Elgin Youth Symphony Orchestra preps for final concert, next season's auditions. Pritzker expects state to fully reopen by June 11, with bridge phase starting May 14. Schaumburg Park District outdoor pools reopening May 29. 85% of Illinoisans 65 and older have received at least one COVID-19 vaccine dose. Maine South officials investigating photo recreating George Floyd's murder. GOP leaders again call out House Dems for redistricting hypocrisy. Better, US 99 hires Melissa McGurran to host mornings. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Spring babies in Seattle, here's when you should help newborn wildlife, according to WA officials. Washington's scenic North Cascades Highway reopens today. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, China, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Libya, Tunisia. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, May 6th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. An expert brief on economic security, investment and jurisdictional risk. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Missouri teen gives away money saved for college after being awarded scholarship. Jonathan Bush, brother of President George H.W. Bush, dies. Idaho school shooting, girl shoots 3 people before teacher disarms her. Houston firefighters win in court could mean millions in back pay. Texas protesters who obstruct emergency vehicles could face felony charges. Houston woman gets phone scam so threatening, she reported it to police. Woman shot along Highway 6 in West Houston. Our America, Asian Voices official trailer. Vax Live, how to watch Global Citizens COVID-19 Vaccine Equity Concert on ABC. Army trainee arrested after hijacking SC school bus with gun, all 18 children, driver safe, sheriff. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Braves bring back C. Tyler Flowers on minor league deal. Rangers rally for 4-3 win in 10th versus extra struggling Twins. Cordero snap slump, Red Sox hold on to beat Tigers 12-9. Walker allows 1 hit in 7 innings, Mets walk past Cards 4-1. Utah affirms transgender right to change birth certificates. Wyoming politicians avoid Liz Cheney peril ahead of vote. California fire victims see little payout from settlement. Cheney challenger Stefanik says GOP must work with Trump. Jill Biden thanks military spouses in Colorado for service. Judge alters red flag process after Indiana FedEx shooting. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra extra, cat given adorable ceremony for saving elderly man's life. Rikers inmates will no longer bury the dead amid Hart Island transformation. Sheldon Silver reportedly ordered back to prison after 2-day release. Supporters herald signing of HERO Act with worker protections. NYC to launch City Artist Corps with $25 million to support local artists. 18 people charged in takedown of Brooklyn gang accused of killing 1-year-old. Want to help India's COVID crisis? Donating to small organizations may be your best bet. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. NYC should offer COVID shots to tourists at popular sites, de Blasio says. Stellar new slow food Thai spot joins the Vanderbilt Avenue Street Party. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. 20 million more people face food crisis as acute hunger rates rise to a 5-year high. How West African leaders can tackle youth and gender inequities. UN chief pledges to keep memories alive of those who died in service during 2020. UN launches key initiative to protect seafarers' human rights amid COVID-19 crisis. High-dose vitamin D supplements significantly reduce intensive care unit admissions and COVID-19 deaths. From the field, Uganda conflict survivor helps communities find ways forward. WHO chief hails monumental moment in COVID fight, as US throws support behind vaccine patent waiver. USA, rights expert decries wave of anti-protest laws spreading through the country. Coping with the USA-China conflict strategic procrastination. Early warning pandemic hub plan unveiled by WHO's Tedros and Germany's Merkel. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. How the pandemic made lumber America's hottest commodity. Trevor Noah, why are people who get the vaccine still being made to wear masks? China strives to control of Internet, of the entire world. Bulletin of Atomic Scientists opens the Wuhan virus Pandora's box. U.S. birth and fertility rates in 2020 dropped to another record low. What will you do when inflation forces U.S. households to spend 40% of their incomes on food? This Biden proposal could make the U.S. a digital dictatorship. Russia is prepared to disconnect from SWIFT payment system, Foreign Ministry. New York Yankees and Mets desegregate vaccinated and unvaccinated fans. About that rules-based international order. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Did South Carolina legislators pass a bill allowing firing squad executions? Did U.S. police tally 10 million arrests in 2020? Is Domino's bringing back Noid, a mascot that reportedly drove a man to take hostages? The anti-war origins of Mother's Day. Does a photo show a fish trapped in a jellyfish? Did an Ohio State senator drive during a Zoom call about distracted driving? Vatican conference features Fauci, Francis, and Aerosmith. Mom who gave birth on flight didn't know she was pregnant. Burger King sign falls on minivan, TikTok videos show. NHL fines Rangers $250K for criticizing player safety call. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Viral post misleads on COVID-19 death reporting, vaccine monitoring. Meme featuring DeSantis presents misleading picture of COVID-19 and vaccine safety. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Artist reveals Paris Hilton's infamous Stop Being Poor tank was fake. Scammers sell fire extinguishers as oxygen cylinders to dying COVID patients in India. F-word all of you, Capitol rioter raises hell during off-the-rails court hearing. The Sonos Roam is the only Bluetooth speaker I'll be using. Pandemic chaos led wife to kill estranged hubby's new GF, defense. Take this quick survey to make better drinks this summer. Looking for a new comforter? We've got you covered. That damn Michael Che wants to be the next Chappelle show. Britain accuses France of showing small dick energy in petty Navy standoff over fish. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Mitch McConnell is staying out of House GOP's brawl with Liz Cheney. NYPD cop fires at carjacker after suspect allegedly slammed into police cruiser. Queen of Meth made $200K a week, how Tom Arnold's sister got lucky. Harry, Meghan call for vaccine donations to celebrate son's birthday. Caitlyn Jenner's punchy anti Newsom ad is a preview of a big challenge for Dems. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Watch dancing supermassive black holes. Chinese rocket booster will make uncontrolled fall to Earth. Massive flare on Proxima Centauri could spell bad news for any alien life. 60 years ago, Alan Shepard became the first American in space. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Moderna and Pfizer COVID vaccine shown to be effective against variants. Scientists unsure where uncontrolled rocket debris will hit Earth. How NASA would keep an asteroid from hitting Earth. MIT develops plan to deflect planet-killer asteroids. Car-sized asteroid just made the closest flyby of Earth on record. NASA scientists elated with asteroid sampling mission. Asteroid sample sealed up for return to Earth. Charcoal-like asteroid chip sent back to Earth by space probe. Rare meteorite found in UK may contain building blocks of life. First known interstellar visitor likely a pancake-shaped planet shard. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. U.S. Army high-ranked confirms 57 alien species similar to humans that walk among us. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. I am not looking to punish anyone. Biden pitches tax the rich infrastructure plan in deep red Louisiana. Mayoral candidate Eric Adams kicks off 30-second spot as he battles for front-runner status. University of Texas football player Jake Ellinger found dead off campus. NYC landlord sued to stop extension of state's COVID eviction moratorium. New Hampshire Youth Detention Center worker arrested in connection with rape of boy was fired, then rehired. Rep. Stefanik makes her case for GOP leadership, says party must work with Trump. New Orleans vape shop owner charged after killing man banned from store. 2 students and 1 janitor injured in shooting at Idaho middle school, suspect arrested. Florida governor signs controversial voting restrictions into law, prompting swift legal challenges. Liz Crotty scores 4 endorsements by NYC police unions for Manhattan. The following headlines are from military.com. Department of Defense investigating former Army officer who used Arlington Cemetery footage in campaign ad. Army to overhaul criminal, sexual assault investigations after Vanessa Guillen murder. Army recruit who hijacked bus full of children was just trying to get home, general says. France sends patrol boats as fishing tensions flare with UK. Some B-1 bombers return to flight following fuel system inspection. Army allows female soldiers to wear long ponytails in all uniforms. A British Space Force, never say never, says UK General. Army Fort Jackson trainee arrested after allegedly hijacking a school bus full of children. Indonesian leader says country doesn't want famous U.S. Coast Guard cutter, report. Army embraces MMA in new recruiting campaign. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Corrections and clarifications. With COVID-19 restrictions set to loosen, we want to hear about what you plan to do this spring and summer, and how you feel about it. Illinois COVID-19 questions answered. Are pediatricians recommending 12-year-olds receive Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine once it has FDA approval? What will happen when Chicago drops all COVID-19 restrictions? Jane Byrne Interchange Project continues. CPS selective enrollment high schools will nearly double the number of diverse learners next year. Coronavirus in Illinois updates. Pritzker says COVID-19 restrictions will loosen May 14th with goal of fully reopening state on June 11th. 1,778 new cases and 40 deaths reported Thursday. Buckingham Fountain will be turned on before Memorial Day after 2020 COVID absence, officials say. Fish guts on the red line. Chickerdone was transporting specimens for a study showing the long history of microplastics in freshwater species. What's allowed as Illinois and Chicago reopen, the rules for restaurants, gyms, concerts, conventions and more. Chicago's ready to vaccinate 12 to 15-year-olds pretty much right away once federal government gives okay, health commissioner says. The following headlines are from Phys.org. Team uses laser-induced graphene process to create micron-scale patterns in photoresist. Surprising sandfly find yields new species of bacteria. Boeing's troubled Starliner capsule now aiming for July launch. International SWAT satellite to survey the world's water. The longer the yawn, the bigger the brain. Volcanoes on Mars could be active, raising possibility of recent habitable conditions. Multidisciplinary cooperation leads to catalysts that are up to 50 times more effective. Study, residents left big metros during pandemic for family. Molecular glue makes perovskite solar cells dramatically more reliable over time. Rooted tree key to understanding bacterial evolution, new study suggests. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, May 6th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Arizona bill banning biased topics in schools advances. Florida man convicted in plot to attack pro-Trump protesters. Take the vaccines to the people. Minnesota police at scene of bank robbery with hostages. How to help employers and those struggling to get into the workforce. Apple's App Store chief fends off attacks in antitrust trial. Darren Clark shoots 66 to take region's tradition lead. R&B singer Aaron Neville, 80, retires from touring. Alabama House drops resistance, OK's medical marijuana bill. Glacier National Park demand outweighs ticket availability. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Palo Alto coach on SCVAL's no playoff stance. All of us administrators, coaches and teachers have failed you. County Board of Education threatens to close Vallis Charter School if it doesn't fix lack of diversity. U.S. Army will allow female soldiers to wear ponytails. Sports legends across the nation wish Willie Mays a happy 90th birthday. Effort continues to bring Magical Bridge Playground to Santa Clara. As San Jose Sharks give kids a shot, Martin Jones faces uncertain future. Horrific details released in rodeo child torture case, girl was burned with pitchfork, beaten, handcuffed to bed for months before her death, police say. COVID, 21 students test positive in East Bay High School outbreak linked to gathering. SF Giants HQ, how do Willie Mays' advanced numbers stack up with stars of today? Survey, most parents say they will not give their child COVID vaccine right away. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Fatal shooting by Bettendorf police officer rule justified. NC House votes to bar abortions based on race, Down syndrome. Connecticut moves closer to putting early voting on ballot. Man gets 60 years for 1988 slaying of Colorado Springs woman. Laws will widen private school aid, let homeschoolers play. Persistent drought makes New Mexico parks shut boat ramps. Sheriff recall effort collects enough signatures for ballot. Fraud scheme preying on elderly nets 8-year sentence. Authorities, teacher disarmed 6th grade girl who shot 2 students, custodian at Idaho Middle School. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Inspector General rebukes EPA for failing to protect communities from carcinogenic air pollution. Republican running for Virginia governor took cash from lobbyists tied to woke Coca-Cola. Longtime Bloomberg ally bets on Andrew Yang for New York. Opposing PRO Act, Uber and other gig companies spend over $1 million lobbying Congress. Drone whistleblower Daniel Hale jailed ahead of sentencing. Startup alternative to rental security deposits gets legal backing in Baltimore. Internal NYPD documents show cops were sent to protests with barely any First Amendment training. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, May 6, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Twitter data unveils issues nursing mothers face, informs proposed interventions. Researchers find association between financial strain due to COVID-19 and depression. Unusual semi-metal shows evidence of unique surface conduction states. SARS-CoV-2 infections after Pfizer-BioNTech BNT162b2 vaccination in routinely screened workforce. Bacterial DNA can be read either forwards or backwards, new study. Discovery of genetic drivers linked to progression in Parkinson's disease. Zero to hero, overlooked material could help reduce our carbon footprint. PCB contamination in Icelandic orcas, a matter of diet. Why do some neurons degenerate and die of Alzheimer's disease, but not others? Transforming atmospheric carbon into industrially useful materials. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Man killed in single vehicle crash on I-290. In GOP stronghold, Biden pushes for his infrastructure plan. Kamala Harris family in India grapples with COVID. Wrath of Man, bullets fly every which way in Jason Statham thriller, and so does the plot. Chicago police sergeant allegedly took $1,000 bribe from diver famous for recovering Anthony Rizzo's wedding ring from Belmont Harbor. At least 25 dead during Brazilian police raid in Rio. Record crowd at Canelo Saunders has me asking, what pandemic? Man dies days after Westchester shooting. Man wanted for sexually assaulting girl in Little Village. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, May 6, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Maria Muldaur and Tuba Skinny get happy together in New Orleans. Upcoming Houston food events. Local institution Weezy's Table celebrates 48 years. Best virtual bets, fashion, pretty fire, and the sound of music. Night Ranger wants you to know, you can still rock in Houston. The fight against trans athletes is also misogyny. Extremely early Houston Texans guide to the 2022 NFL Draft. Hidalgo and Turner cancel events with Houston's biggest business group over silence on Texas voter bills. 2 weeks of legal silence, what's next for Deshaun Watson? The Weird Wounds graveyard in the shadow of I-45. Houston Concert Watch 5/5, Sarah Jeff, Molly Tuttle and more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Video, India's Rapunzel chops her hair for U.S. museums, ABC News 4. MGCC seafood pantries break world's largest jambalaya record during fundraiser, WXXV News 25. Virginia man breaks Guinness World Record for fastest time to build largest Lego set, WWBT-NBC 12 News. Miami Beach names Merle and Ivan Day to commemorate world record, Swimming World magazine. Illinois 12-year-old builds world's tallest popsicle stick structure, UPI News. Non-uplets, woman from Mali gives birth to 9 babies, NPR. World record holding fastest shed visits care home, Oxford Mail. British sumo wrestling champion flips his way to unofficial fitness world record, Maidenhead advertiser. Gardener with world record for giant fig doesn't eat any as he hates the taste, metro.co.uk. World Record Academy, People's Salvation Cathedral in Bucharest has largest Orthodox iconostasis, RomaniaInsider.com. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. They're just letting everybody into the Hellfire Gala, apparently. Researchers discover peaceful turtle playground in the Sargasso Sea. Being a dick on a plane could cost you $32,750. Zoomers are sharing cheat codes for the universe on TikTok and there's no way we can stop them now. Qualcomm chip flaw could leave 30% of the world's phones vulnerable to hackers. Why Star Wars fans are concerned about the Bad Batch and whitewashing. A new printer uses sawdust to print wooden objects. FBI informants committed over 9,000 crimes in early Trump years. Telecoms paid henchmen to flood FCC with anti-net neutrality comments from stolen identities. 25 years ago, Star Trek, Voyager tackled one of its most infamous transporter questions. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Nadi in Fiji at 127.58 degrees Fahrenheit or 53.1 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WID in Dome, Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. What cats' love of boxes and squares can tell us about their visual perception. 9,000 flyers may have had reused swabs jammed up their noses in Indonesia. Paramount Plus hits 36 million subscribers, will stream sci-fi movie Infinite. World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade re-returns on June 1st, requires cloning. Today's best tech deals, new iPad Pro, Amazon devices, and more. Biggest internet service providers paid for 8.5 million fake FCC comments opposing net neutrality. Sea level rise uncertainties, why all eyes are on Antarctica. The Google Assistant is now a Google messaging service. U.S. physics lab Fermilab exposes proprietary data for all to see. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Here's how participatory disinformation fueled the insurrection by Trump supporters. U.S. sends more reinforcements for Afghan pullout, Pentagon. U.S. not planning to shoot down Air 10-story Chinese rocket falling to Earth, Defense Chief. FEC officially closes investigation into Trump's hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. Utter BS, former Tea Party lawmaker tears to into Elise Stefanik's lavish praise of Trump. Eric Prince's ex-Blackwater employee did Rudy Giuliani's security in Ukraine, report. The GOP is falling into mass delusion, and the time is coming for Biden to call McConnell's bluff. Shadowy right-wing group one step closer to overturning Arizona city's new LGBTQ civil rights protections. Bullying Kevin McCarthy is working for the GOP's insurrectionist caucus. Biden says U.S. must invest because China eating our lunch. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Some thoughts on Eric Clapton and classic rock nostalgia. They went back to India to care for parents dying of COVID-19. Now, they're stranded. doctor, lawyer, insurrectionist, the radicalization of Simone Gold. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signs a voter suppression bill, and Fox News has the only camera. Kushner companies violated multiple laws in massive tenant dispute, judge rules. Facebook Oversight Board is an elaborate public relations stunt. Rep Liz Cheney lashes out at her critical colleagues. Judge throws out nationwide eviction moratorium. Facebook made sure its oversight board couldn't give too much oversight. Facebook Oversight Board punts on chance to take a stand on Trump. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. My turn, 2 ways to look at Earth, the recorder. The people at the dawn of civilization, Science magazine. Are UFOs real? With Gideon Lewis Krause, The Ringer. Taking aliens seriously, big brains, Chicago News. SETI Institute in the news, Media Roundup, March 16 – March 31, 2021, SETI Institute. What a massive solar flare on a nearby star could mean for alien life, PBS NewsHour. Author Andy Weir in Project Hail Mary, The Planetary Society. The Belgian Franqui Prize 2021 awarded to Nicole Gillen, Eureka Alert. Daniel Libeskind will redesign Pittsburgh's Tree of Life Synagogue, Art enters Chernobyl, and more. Morning links from May 5, 2021, Art News. Why haven't aliens made contact? Science with Sam explains, New Scientist News. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Biology professor awarded $1 to study bird flight, McGill Reporter. The coding and long non-coding single-cell atlas of the developing human fetal striatum, Science magazine. Gene therapy preserves memory in Alzheimer's mouse model, healthanalytics.com. Red Light Holland, OTC, Truff, receives patent pending status for find your dose customization of microdosing kits based on biometric and movement data, Wall Street Reporter. NervGen Pharma announces first subject dosed in Phase 1 clinical trial of NVG-291, Stockhouse. Your brain can be plastic if you want, The Star Online. Neighborhoods kids grow up in can affect their brain development, Mirage News. UIC researcher finds possible novel migraine therapy, Eureka Alert. 4 benefits of meditation, Advanced Titan. Optogenetic pacing of medial septum prevalbumin positive cells disrupts temporal but not spatial firing in grid cells, Science advances. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, May 6, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Project announcement, evaluation of the DOD's actions regarding the unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, May 6, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.